I'm about to feed them to the sharks right now. Get them hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it go. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.
Welcome to episode 98 of the BJJ Campaign podcast. My name is Jeff Boone. I'm an A3, blue belt, 4 stripes.
Phil Coors, A2, blue belt, 4 stripes.
Gordon Ryan update.
Can't wait.
He's posting less on social media because they're shadow banning him and deleting at least half of his comments. You know how he'll comment back to people? Mm-hmm. They're deleting at least half of them on Instagram.
Yeah. That's what happens when you don't agree with everybody.
He said they deleted one just for calling that he called somebody ugly. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. Because the guidelines are kind of always written that way, that he can't be mean.
Yeah, yeah. But they don't take into consideration what the people are saying to him. That's the weird part.
They're not reporting. Those people don't get reported.
So he should report them?
No, it won't matter.
No?
No, it's probably because like so many people report the stuff that he does, that he's like everything he does gets under a filter.
Maybe he'll get on Parler. Because Parler's back as of
next
week.
I think his thing though is he actually wants people to read it.
Well, sure. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to see it on Parler because nobody's on Parler.
There's plenty of people on Parler.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, not now because social media squeezed them out, the social media giants, but there will be. They'll build up. It'll be there. But there was one post on Instagram that I got from him, and I absolutely love it and agree with it, and I think it applies wholly to Jiu Jitsu, and that is that he was talking about he was in different groups, you know, trying to make money. This guy's trying to make his mark on not just Jiu Jitsu, but you know, be a titan of business, and he's in with all these other titans of business in these groups, and he noticed whenever somebody was saying, well, here's what I did, and I started making $10 million a month. He said in that group, there's nobody saying, oh, well, you should have done this or you should have done that. It's all encouragement. And it goes back. He didn't say it.
The must be nice.
The what?
Like the must be nice people.
I don't know what that means. What?
That's the other side. The unsupportive side.
What? Must be must be nice.
Yeah,
oh,
like
I thought you meant you must be nice. Must be nice. Yeah.
That person.
Those idiots.
Who,
of
like
course.
When they hear somebody successful, must be nice or got lucky or whatever they say. Something.
But that's a famine mindset, right? I mean, what they're showing there is that they're past that famine mindset onto a growth mindset of encouraging somebody crushing their goals rather than discouraging them. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that really. It really relates to jiu-jitsu. And I found it really interesting. And it's so funny because the comments, you know, are mostly positive. And then there's the must be nice assholes that pop in there, you know, with whatever, which wasn't the spirit of his post at all. It was just the spirit of the post was, hey, successful people encourage success. Right. And when you're getting better at jiu-jitsu and maybe you find yourself better than some of the other people, then you encourage the success that other people are having, even if it's at your own peril. Right. I mean, who cares? That's, you know, nice job. Show me what you did. But I just thought that was so, I thought it was so interesting that he pointed it out. And I think it is very relevant to jiu-jitsu and life in general. Have you ever been a must have been nice guy?
I think so.
Were you?
I think so, yeah.
How'd you get out of it?
I have no idea.
You have to have an idea. Like, how did you not?
I saw the same post and then I thought about it and I was like, man, what would be different about my life if I had a lot of money? Not much.
Right.
At all.
Todd Snyder says having nothing's almost like having it all.
Yeah. I mean, I really wouldn't do anything different.
No.
I would owe less money. But that doesn't bother me now.
I was going to say, what have you worried about that?
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would do kind of the same thing I'm doing now. Yeah, I don't know. I probably probably around the same time that I stopped working where I didn't want to work and started just doing the things that I wanted to do.
So you changed that negative feedback loop, which was that misery that you'd experienced on a day-to-day basis of doing a job that you had no interest in.
Yeah, once I realized that, yeah. Because I just kind of went along with it because it's what I did until I found something else I wanted to do instead. And then it was Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, it was.
Shocker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And now I see the same thing happen to other people, which is cool. But
it happens to everybody in one way or another. For me, it was getting out of an 8-year relationship that was going nowhere, you know, and it just took so weird, man. I mean, you saw it the whole way, right? I mean, you saw the beginnings of it. And
I think I was talking to Molly about that recently where I was like, thinking, it just like randomly crossed my mind. And I'm like, that was a really big deal at the time. But like it never seemed like a big deal to me because I wasn't in it, obviously. And when we talked about it, it was cut and dry of like what has to happen. But it just took a long time to happen.
Yeah, without jiu-jitsu, it would have never. I mean, I might have still been caught in that feedback loop.
Yeah. But then like once I just started doing what I like, and I had enough to get by. Like I'm not hungry, you know.
Sure.
So that, you know, but I also don't need stuff.
Yeah.
So like I buy a gi once a year.
Yeah.
Pretty much covers it.
We got that coming up. Update on that in a little bit.
So yeah, I don't know. Then I didn't really have much to. I feel like when I like was at work and was annoyed I was there, because it's not what I wanted to be doing. It's easier to look at other people and be like, well, that's what I want to go do, you know, because it was almost anything else. Because I wasn't even good at what I was doing. Like I didn't like it.
Yeah. And before jiu-jitsu, you were just numbing yourself, right? I mean, you were numbing yourself every evening drinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I drank a lot.
Yeah. Which cracks me up. By the way, for the audience, I don't think I've ever seen you take a drink.
No, you haven't. I talk a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, of anything other than coffee.
Yeah. Coffee and water.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've seen how one goes to 5 real fast. So
cookies, baby. Yeah.
Well, cookies,
pans.
coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. You had like 20 cookies.
Yeah. And yesterday. Yeah. So, you know, kind of figured that out about myself and just all or nothing. So we'll just keep it at nothing. But, yeah, I would say that was, but I saw the same post. I had similar thoughts that prompted me to think like if I stumbled into like $1 million, I really don't know what else would change.
No, nothing. Right. I mean, listen, you're going to have that $1 million with your $400 in crypto that you've got invested.
Loaded.
For sure.
Loaded
at
up.
least in the next 72 years. But
that's right.
But no, I agree with you. And I also think that it's so relevant because if you look at anybody who's kind of really been taken by jiu-jitsu, like me, like you, like a lot of the others, you see these positive changes. You see these, whether it be with their family, with their friends, but you see these positive changes. And it's something that I think is not talked about often enough. That yeah, there are definitely positive attributes physically, from being fit, being healthier, but really also mentally from just, we said it earlier, right? I mean, life's pretty easy for both you and me, really. I mean, let's be honest. There's not too many struggles I have to deal with in my day to day other than jiu-jitsu.
Or the garage doors.
Well,
I mean, you don't have to get into details, but the garage doors have been kicking your ass for like 2 months now, maybe longer.
years, probably 2 years.
2 years? Okay.
I don't want to admit it, but I will admit it that I cannot. Listen, if there's anybody out there in the audience that knows how to program the car
Just
home link,
don't waste your time reaching out, because he's going to change his mind and he's going to want something else to open his garage door.
in the DMs.
You've changed your garage door situation like 14 times. Never seen anybody more
And
like...
I'm pretty happy with it. That's the thing. I'm just trying to make it better, Phil, just like my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with my jiu-jitsu. Not really, but I'm just trying to make it better.
Yeah. That's your Achilles heel, is your garage doors. It's kind of funny.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So hit me up in the DMs if anybody's out there expert at home link.
The last couple of people that I've like worked for, I've all wanted to too, which is interesting. That I literally would have done it for free if they just asked. And that's kind of how I've approached, like I just did one, I'm helping one now. My buddy from New Jersey I play video games with, he like offered to pay, but I would have just done it. I don't care, and I'd look at it more as just trying to help
Tell
people.
the people, internet optimization, website stuff, all that stuff. That's what your side gig is, other than jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just did that, and I would have done it for free. I mean, it's just because I want to help him.
Yeah.
He's opening a weed store.
Yeah. All right. Getting that CBD on.
Yeah, all of it.
THC.
He can apparently put it in everything. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, brownies, that's been around for years.
Yeah. He said he had a bunch of weird examples, like shampoo, everything.
What?
I don't know.
Why are you putting weed in shampoo?
He puts it, he just has a machine.
Will it make me have hair?
I don't know. Maybe.
Ask him.
All right.
Get him up for that.
I don't know. You just rub it right on your head there. But yeah, well, he's been talking about doing that for a long time. And
Good
then
for him.
I think it just became legal last year or whatever. So he
Up
started.
in Jersey? Mm-hmm. Good. And it doesn't have to be medicinal. It's just.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right on. Shout out. Doing the good plant medicine work.
But it makes it easier because I want to do it.
Yeah, agree. Not the plant medicine, just the getting his website up.
Yeah, no, helping him with that.
Yeah. Of course. I think that's important. I think it's important. I think that keeping that mindset of servant leadership, no matter what role you're taking, whether it's within the academy or whether it's within your job or whether it's even within just your personal life with your friends. I mean, to be able to serve them and to be able to be there whenever they need it. If you have something that you're an expert in, it's good to share that, if they want it to be shared, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not if not, but, so moving on, thanks. That was really good input. I like that. I'm glad you read that same. I'm glad you read the same post. Yeah. So refresh the audience what your plan was going into the Good Fight submission only. So there's been, since we last aired episode 97, there's been 2 tournaments, Good Fight and Naga, both in the Charlotte/Hickory area. So refresh the audience what your plan was.
I was going to be as lazy as possible. And I worked really good in the submission only one.
Yes.
And not so good in the points one.
Which is predictable.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like even in the points one, when that wasn't the strategy so much, it's how I've been doing everything the last 2 months or whatever, probably. Mm-hmm. So it was just how every match happened, was everybody came at me like a much more intense than I was.
Yeah.
Which is also partly what I want, because I've had an issue with being able to control that. So now I just need to be able to work some sort of intensity meter as necessary.
No, I was super impressed with it. I think both were your best performances to date that I've seen because of the poise that you kind of illustrated on the mat with, it wasn't like in Good Fight, there wasn't any, you didn't get in any bad situations, overtime was all about bad situations. It was the EBI rules where they would go, what was it, armbar,
back armbar triangle.
Armbar triangle. So you would just keep doing that, and you did that with one in the finals forever in the gi finals. But yeah, very poised in your escapes, methodical in moving forward and getting a better position. Kind of, you saw most everything except for some things. You know what I mean? Like you saw what people were trying to do. You kind of headed it off before it was too far along the line. You did all your defenses with whether it would be triangle defense or armbar defense or back defense were right on point. So I was super impressed. You took in Good Fight the submission only. You took first in gi, and since you're a no gi specialist, of course you took first in no gi. So
definitely the no-gi specialist. Yeah. No, I felt really comfortable in all the positions because we've played around with that stuff a lot and all the different open mats and positional, like really forcing those in for a long time. Like I probably have a lot more experience like starting there than most people at my level just because of how often we played with those games.
Well, it just illustrates the importance of that positional sparring.
Yeah, I mean especially for the rules.
Obviously, Phil, at open mat and stuff, whenever we do the back stuff, and that we do it because eventually one day I'm going to be in EBI. So
that's right.
So I'm going to have to play that rule set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that's the most fun way to do it.
It is. Totally agree. I think it's the most accurate way to see who's better at jiu-jitsu.
And I do understand that like not everything can be submission only all the time because of time and trying to get everybody in and whatnot. But I definitely thought the submission only was more fun to do and better suited for like my style of being lazy and not rushing.
It 100% is. I mean, and again, I think it's the best way. Now, people will make the argument on those with the EBI rules is that, hey man, if you can't finish it and by the way, it was not no time limit submission only. It was
8 minutes.
It was an 8-minute match, which was good. I feel like that's sufficient. But people's argument is, well, if they can't get to your back, how is that an accurate representation of being better at jiu-jitsu? And I think that it's a good argument, right? I think it's a good argument, but I think it also says, all right, well, I'm better at finishing than you are at defending, so yeah, okay. Maybe it would take 20, 30 minutes, but eventually we get there.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess, I understand that point. Which is why, like, I think Tom DeBlas or Gordon and all them always talk about no time limit.
Yeah,
the ideal,
100%. That's what they want.
Ideal format. So, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have an issue with that.
That's ballsy. No time limit. Oh, it's ballsy.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna have to pee eventually. So, like, somehow
you're like,
I'm gonna quit. So, like,
so tap out to have me urinate.
So, I mean, yeah, but I think that's more fun. I mean, I felt better on the day of a good fight. Like, I feel like I performed a lot better. I feel like I was more like mentally sharp. And then last weekend, I thought I did pretty shitty. I started every match bad. I was better at what I wanted. Like what I've been trying to work on is staying calm, not burning grips out. The same things I've always been working on in competition to not have that.
Well, you finally did it to the last two competitions.
Yeah.
You finally accomplished that goal.
Right.
Like now it's move on from that, right? Now it's figure out what to do. And I disagree. I think you did very well at Naga. The result wasn't where it was. In gi, you won no gi, right?
Yeah, but every match started out pretty terrible.
Who cares?
Me.
I mean, the guys got better takedowns than you. Most people are going to have better takedowns than you.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So
what else?
I need to fix that.
And then you guillotined him 30 seconds later.
But I need to fix at least how I get it to the floor.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
all of that's terrible.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. But that's just what you learned that you have to grow from. I don't think that you would be ready for that before this. I think that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like your strategy of relaxation, not burning your grips out, which you accomplished, you know, it was a necessary step.
But why would I want to walk away and not have that thing? Like,
oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what you do it for.
Yeah. So I'm happy that I did shitty in certain points because now I have like that thing to work on. Because how I got triangled, like that's my like mismatch issue that I know when I look at the person, I'm like, I know what's going to happen.
See, I feel like that's a mindset thing too.
Probably.
Yeah.
The triangle is the one that I have struggled a lot with.
So let me, for the audience, let me just say, this guy was like 6'3" and Phil's weight, you know, and his legs were up to his tits, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you knew what was coming on.
I did.
And he had a cramp in his right calf before he started the match, which I told Phil about. And I was like, he's going to triangle you, right? I mean, that's what he's going to do. So what does Phil do? He allows him to get grips, pull guard, and triangle him immediately. Like, you had it for just a second where you were in between that triangle, and I felt like you just didn't fight it like you should have.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like I started every match really shitty.
Yeah.
And 3 times...
You're like the Donald Cerrone of competition jiu-jitsu. Like, he always has a bad first round.
3 times I got out of it and then moved forward once it's going.
Yeah.
And that one I didn't.
No. Because if you'd have moved forward, he'd have strangled you faster.
Right. Yeah.
But that dude did have ridiculously long legs. I mean, you knew what was coming.
Well, and what's funny is I watched it once and I noticed like he pulled guard weird. Like he like underhand
double sleeve grip.
Yeah, he like underhand gripped
double sleeve
the
grip.
bottom of my sleeves and pulled guard, which I thought was weird. And then I was talking to John about it. I was like, yeah, I never got my hands back, it seemed. And then I went back and watched it again, and I was like, I fucking did. Like, I broke the grips, and I got him.
You did.
And I like had a passing position for a second.
Yep.
And then he got his like feet on me, kind of like some spider guard grips. But like I had an opportunity to pass.
You did have an opportunity,
and I wasn't able to capitalize on it. So I did what I was supposed to do for a second because I heard you say no, like don't do that. Stop. You're like walking right into the closed guard, basically, where we don't want to be. I heard that. I started to address it, but yeah, I just didn't do a great job. Which is whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't. Like it was like, all right, you knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Like you knew where you couldn't be and you got there.
And I know with Landon, I'm in the guard and I'm hyper aware of where my arms are. I know, like, and when I start pushing an arm one way, I'm thinking about it. But I'm not there yet in the competition. I don't have the same,
I get it,
like awareness. Cause everything specifically with Landon, cause he's got that build of like, he weighs the same as me, but he's a foot taller.
Yep.
Which I don't get cause I'm thin.
You are.
Like, I don't understand it.
I know.
But he's thinner. So he's
true.
And his legs are so long. So I'm really thinking about everything that's going on with where my elbows are and where like turtling my neck and everything to try not to get triangled. And but it doesn't work the same way. I feel like I'm 1,000 times more composed than I had been previously, just due to the exposure of doing it more. But yeah, that's definitely my weakest spot, and that was why we worked on triangle defenses before pans. That's my nightmare matchup, is a tall guy with long legs.
Yeah.
Because I want people to pull guard, because I believe in my
Rather
passing
pass, yeah.
at my
Of course.
level.
Yeah, I agree.
But if I get that mismatch and the guy's long, I have to do a better job. But it is what it is.
Agreed. I thought overall it was a fantastic performance. I was really, really impressed with your poise. I think that you nailed it. You nailed it. And I think from here that trajectory just goes way up as far as competition, because now you are going to be able to add those things to your game and think about them and think about the triangle defenses. Whereas, it's hard to think about it in that moment whenever you're doing it. It's hard.
And I'm a guard player now. Everything's different.
Okay, Phil. All right. Well,
Yeah, everything changes every 2 months.
open guard, you are a no-gi specialist. So what also came out of Naga for improvement?
We're leg lockers now.
Don't say we. I always have been.
Nah, you haven't. But you are now.
Because nobody will ever play it. That's the only reason.
Yeah. Well, I read the morning of that guy could heel hook me, and I was like, well, that sucks. I read the rules the day of the tournament, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't ready for that one. And I told you, I was like, yeah, and if he grabs my foot, I'm screwed and I'm going to lose, because I don't. It's just something that I have repeatedly put off, because it's not something that was in the rules that I needed to worry about. And I have a limited amount of things I can learn, and I would rather try to get as good as possible as the things that I have to deal with before worrying about the stuff that I don't have to worry about.
You didn't have to deal with before IBJJF allowed heel hooks, and before every other no-gi tournament is allowing heel hooks now.
So, just got to address that, because I don't know, kind of shitty feeling knowing that I've actively ignored something once again.
Well, I mean, if you were going to ignore something, that was probably a good thing to ignore.
Yeah.
Till it's not.
Right. So luckily it didn't come into play much. The one guy grabbed, I don't know what ended up happening in the match, the dude in the pink shirt, but he did something with feet in the match before me. So when he grabbed mine, I knew to aggressively go forward and not let him hold it. So,
Yeah.
But that's
I
basically
think you even grabbed his, didn't you?
No.
You didn't? Okay. All right.
Nah. He tried to, as he was trying to pass the guard for a second, he quit, sat, scooted forward and grabbed my foot, and then I just stood up and passed.
Yeah, that's right.
But
And then took his back. That was good.
But if it's just, I had to come aggressively, because I know if he gets my foot in any capacity, I've lost, because I don't know how to defend it. So,
Well, that was then. This is now.
yeah, now I'm a specialist,
Yep.
not an expert.
No, definitely not. Not like Dean Lister. If you would go back and listen to that episode, that was a good one. But yeah, so we worked on that today at Open Mat. Loved it. I thought, yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff. It makes me interested in going back and looking at a few things on the whole Danaher one and Gordon Ryan one that we have.
You know, I met Gordon Ryan one. I don't think he has one.
No, just the entries on the open guard, right? He does have the entries to it.
He might have it in that second one.
Seated open guard.
Supine.
Supine open guard.
It's not in the seated one.
It's not? Okay.
He shows different ways when he off balances and lifts them, that he kind of spins underneath and lands in the cross position.
Cross-ashi.
I skipped those. Those
Yeah.
weren't relevant. Really, just the stuff he does in the first one is all you need. It's made such a huge difference
Yeah.
of just harassing people's feet.
Yeah. Agreed.
And arm drags and stuff. It's been really fun. I've been having a really good time with that.
Yeah, you're doing a good job adopting it too. Really good job. So, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good to really have that focal point on and shine a light on something that you've been ignoring for a while. And I think it's going to be fun. I think, and you're already getting better at it fast. I mean, knowing, kind of what to avoid. And it's actually good because it's making me better. It's making me concentrate on the things that I have to do to control, rather than if somebody doesn't do leg locks, it's not fun to do leg locks with them because they have no clue.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's just not fun.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. It's like Kimuras. Somebody who doesn't know how to defend the Kimura.
Yeah, Kimuras are stupid.
Everywhere.
I'm back on Kimuras are stupid.
You're crazy. You're insane. Kimuras are great.
Means to an end. No, they are good. I like them.
So yeah, I was very very proud of the way you competed. I thought you did a fantastic job, and I think it just shows the evolution of what your game is and what can be done if you really practice at it and really concentrate on getting better. So kudos.
And the best thing I noticed is like pans really made these competitions seem not that important.
Correct.
And I didn't plan on doing them, so I didn't like have time to overthink anything.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good move.
Also a good thing about not reading the rules till the day of.
That's a good move.
Glad I did though, because in the past I didn't read the rules and somebody like started to do like a bicep slicer and I was like, is this legal? And I found out it was when I definitely thought it wasn't mid-match.
It is?
It was, and whatever one that one was. Usually they're not.
Yeah, usually they're not.
I got out of that, but like I was almost sitting there like, is that legal? Like,
yeah.
Again, should read the rules at least the day of.
Yeah, I guess. But that's what the rules meeting's about.
Never been to one.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
when did you go to one?
Huh?
When did you go to one?
All U.S. Grappling used to have rules meeting. Bagels would always say all the rules that were, different or
yeah, okay.
Something like that. Speaking of which, glad you brought that up because farewell to U.S. Grappling. They
yeah, it seems weird that they closed. I didn't see a reason. I don't know. Kind of sucks.
I don't know, man. I think they were just past it. I don't know. Maybe
haven't done it in a while and just
yeah. I mean, because I think there was 3 main partners in that. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's got to be a grind though to be on the road all the time like that. I don't know if it was just they were like, oh, okay.
I think that same group is the one that bought in that Ethan Leglock guy because I saw Elijah was doing his seminar. Ethan
Frellenstein.
Yeah, he must have been over in like the Raleigh area recently.
He was in Charlotte too.
Oh, was he? I saw he did. He had a picture with Elijah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was at Cary BJJ. So Roll Forever BJJ Betty on Instagram. She kind of organized the whole thing. So he went to John Piper's place at Charlotte Jiu Jitsu, and then at Cary, and then one other place. Maybe it was Gracie Raleigh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where. But yeah, she brought him in for that because he was. I wonder how he did in last week's match. Oh, he won. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he won. He won that. So that's why he was here. And then we've got coming up for all you people out there listening, May 8th, I believe it is. Who's number 1?
Oh.
Flow Grappling come to Charlotte, baby. Do you know that?
Fight to Win.
Oh, sorry. Not
I have seen the post of Fight to Win.
You're absolutely right. My apologies. It is Fight to Win.
Because it's Mother's Day weekend. Big deal.
Is it?
Shout out Mom.
I love my mother.
She's probably not going to listen.
I'm going to see her the week before.
Are you?
Because it's my niece's graduation.
Nice.
So next weekend I'm going to see her. But yeah, so definitely getting tickets to that. You want to go?
No.
Why not? You don't want to go to Fight to Win?
Are you competing?
No.
Well, then no.
Fine, I'll compete.
Then I'll go if you compete.
They wouldn't let me on the card. You're 50 and you're terrible at jiu-jitsu. No, we don't really have a spot for that, sir. No one's interested in that shit show.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. And people were asking, and were like, "Hey, why has it been so long since you guys have done a podcast?" Well, I had the Rona.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's because you don't eat carbs.
Is that why I got it?
That's why you get sick all the time.
I don't think so. But yeah, so I was quarantined for 14 days.
How's your cardio post Rona?
Man, I didn't really notice much of a difference, honestly.
No.
No, but I never had any of the like respiratory stuff with it. Like I bought a pulse oximeter, to measure your oxygen in your blood, just because I wanted to like monitor that shit whenever I was doing it. And it never dropped below 97, 98. So I don't think I had any respiratory stuff at all, other than a cough, and a little bit of phlegm and stuff from like drainage because it was more nasally. I was sick about really a total of about 3 days, and I was sleeping like 12 to 14 hours a day on those days. And it was just head cold symptoms. And honestly, part of it may have just been allergies.
Yeah,
that were kicking my ass, because that was whenever pollen was really heavy. But so yeah, I mean, I had the COVID the second time I've had it, and was fine. Had symptoms for, like I said, like 3 days, and then after that was like a 14-day quarantine, and I was back on the mat the 14th day. And I have no idea how I got it. I really don't. I mean, I try to trace back, try to trace back to like 5 days before I became symptomatic, because I guess that's when they say you were doing it. And that coincided with going with Charlie to the Lucas Lecce seminar, right, which was phenomenal. But he didn't have it. Nobody else there that I knew of had it. So that was Friday. I mean, I don't know, unless I was out, which I do go out in public. I mean, I'm not a hermit or anything like you. But so, who knows where I got it. But luckily, and like that Wednesday, whenever I started kind of feeling bad, and I thought it was just allergies or whatever, we had an open mat at noon, and I worked with like 5 or 6 people, 4 or 5 people. Luckily, none of them got it, which I was thankful for. And then, it's pretty much over it. So yeah, didn't work out bad.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
What'd you do on your quarantine?
A lot of gaming.
It's not much else.
A lot of gaming.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Because I was only really sick 3 days, and that was mostly the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even like, so I was working and whatever. Gaming. I was gaming more.
Yeah.
It's fun. I had a good time.
Working on your flexibility.
No, I wasn't. Not at all.
Would have been the perfect time.
I would have. Yeah.
Just repeatedly talk about doing that.
Yeah. Well, I am now. Right?
Now that you have.
What do? We put together my Rogue Fitness Reverse Hyper Z with the donkey attachment. And Phil
Which
and I
means?
spent. We'll get into that. So how long did we spend? 3 hours?
Something like that. It was a very complicated machine.
But it went together pretty darn well. I was pretty impressed with their engineering.
Yeah. I had left before it was 100% done, and I was fully prepared for the "we did this wrong" text. So like I thought you were gonna have to like take half of it back apart.
There was only one thing that we did wrong, and that was what
Shocking.
I did wrong, and that was the plate. For the foot thing, for the rollers. How we had the rollers on? They were on backwards. So all I had to do was take the 2 nuts and bolts off and turn around. Boom, bam.
I built everything backwards, but I didn't do the directions, so that's probably why.
Yeah, you do love to put something. Probably.
I do everything backwards. I was watching the matches with Patrick, and I was like, I'm the only person who put it on their left foot. Like, I'm not even left-handed, I don't understand it. I do everything backwards. I don't
You
know.
really do.
Yeah. It's
Especially putting shit together.
a pain in the ass.
So that reverse hyper, what it is that it's an active decompression for both your hips and your back. It's kind of if you can go to Rogue Fitness and see the reverse hyper Z, what it is, and it basically, you've got a strap where you can do bent over rows with your legs hanging, or you've got the donkey assembly is the assembly that you actually have rollers that are up by where you would lay on it, and you put your waist at the edge of the cushion and then actively decompress your back whenever you bend down, and then come back up with that. Was that clear enough?
I zoned out for a second, I'm going to be honest, but
Probably terrible, but that's okay. They're used to it by now.
I'm going to try it out after the podcast.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Speaking about the end of the podcast,
This is the last episode. We talked about episode 100 for 6 months or a year, and the joke is we're never going to do it.
not true, folks. Not true. We're keeping.
Brian had a really good point. We've been talking about episode 100 for like a year and a half.
We're going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
And then once we do episode 100, we'll start talking about episode 200.
It's a good point. It's the only thing to look forward to.
Feel like the
Start
build
doing
up,
3 a day.
The build up is not going to be worth it. For sure. But yeah, that's coming up. We got something a little special in store for you there. Teaser. It's going to involve a fight night. It's going to be good. It's going to be enjoyable.
When are you going to do it? Do you know?
I don't know. We'll see. Probably 3 or 4 weeks from now. We'll
Okay.
see.
Well, if it's going to be on a fight night, you're going to have to be careful because they only have one every 3 days.
That's so true. So true. If you guys want to contribute to that 100th episode, we're still taking in suggestions. So go on the Facebook page, give us suggestions. Let us know what you're thinking, what you think would be a good idea. We've got a couple of little things that I think you guys will really enjoy. So Phil, tell the audience, if they choose to do so, how they can support us.
Share the podcast with your friends.
Share it.
Topic suggestions would always be helpful.
Very.
And small people buy a rash guard.
Yeah. Correct. So folks, if you're not out there doing something each and every day to make yourself better, get out there and do it. Phil and I choose Jiu Jitsu. We hope you do too.
I'm about to feed them to the sharks right now. Get them hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it go. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.